Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher's Circus, and today I'm gonna be playing with a few Vestal teams. We're gonna start off with the Oppressive Vestal, then we're gonna move towards Duty Vestal, we're gonna move towards Stress Vestal, we're just gonna have a jolly good time here with Silex Waifu. So, for the first match I'm playing against Democracy, and as soon as I saw that name I thought of Palpatine just going, I love democracy, it's unavoidable. I cannot not think of that meme whenever I see that name. So I'm playing the Oppressive Vestal into a regen team, which isn't amazing, but I'm also playing into a Plague Doctor, which is quite amazing because I get to just do this and she doesn't get to play the game essentially because I have Red Tiara's net on my shield breaker. So what is the Oppressive Vestal all about? This is a team that has 2 stuns, has doesn't have like full-on focus on the defense, but it has Riposte Highman, it has Shieldbreaker with Serpent Sway, has Crusader which is chunky, has Vestal which is relatively chunky, and all 3 of these characters can move forward, so the Vestal can stay in the back and she can heal everyone, the Crusader can heal everyone. So with this team you have basically this offense that can't be stopped because of your puncture. And with that offense, what you can do is single out an enemy character, kill them, and then you have a character advantage with 2 stuns, with riposte, and with characters that are very hard to take down individually. So it's a very oppressive team to play against, hence why it's called Oppressive Vestal. So my opponent is already suffering from having the exotic snuff because, you know, surely bringing exotic snuff is a good move here. I'm actually going to do something a bit funny. I'm going to dance a bit with the Highman and the Crusader. I'm going to duelist advance into position 3. Even though I would like to drop the Vendetta first and, you know, do something else, I'm actually going to do this and pretty much have a very good chance that the Plague Doctor drops to 0 HP that round, so she'd be forced to regen, but then I just pull her and I win the match. But sadly that didn't happen. You know, I whiffed the 85 as you do. Another thing I could have done would be to go for the Vendetta on the doggy, because this is not a front line I want to stun. It just doesn't look very good for me. There's a lot of dodge here, there's a lot of stun resistance here, so it's naturally not the greatest thing to play against, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. I think here I'm actually just, you know, gonna get rid of that dodge, because I do have the Eerie Eye on my Harman. This is a guaranteed chance. I think Eerie Eye on the Harman is actually the best second trinket you can bring on this team, because you have to you are a damage team that doesn't have any confirmed finish ability, so you don't have a Bounty Hunter or a Jester, so it can be quite rough to actually finish off your opponent, but you have a lot of moves to do it, so it's usually not the greatest issue. But as the second trinket, you kind of want accuracy on the Highman, so people usually bring the Eagle Eye, but the damage is kind of meh, so I bring a bit more accuracy and the debuff skill chance, so yeah, it is nice, I think here this is just gonna be another cute little let's pull the Plague Doctor turn, make sure she can't play the game. But Shep, why don't you have 2 dodge trinkets on the Shieldbreaker instead of, you know, just having this monkey spawn net setup? I actually prefer this setup, honestly. I could have 2 dodge trinkets on there, but what's gonna happen is then my Shieldbreaker doesn't get focused, and then she's gonna, like, whiff an 80% move chance, and she's pretty much gonna pass her turn when I really don't want her to do that. This is also a teeny tiny bit more accuracy than the Graceful Anklet, which is the other dodge trinket that she gets. It has an extra 2 accuracy, so, you know, I like it. Plus, if she Serpent Sways already, she gets 2 blocks and she gets 50 dodge, so even against damage teams, it's still not the move to just try and focus her down, so I'm perfectly okay with doing this. So they are trying to focus her down, which I think is a bad decision, but it is what they're going for. Now I have an almost guaranteed chance to hit that doggy, so I'm just gonna do this. I don't feel like I do 12 damage with my judgment to the Plague Doctor. Maybe if I got a crit on it, but even then. How much damage does this thing do? Oh, it has a minus 25 damage mod. That's so unfortunate. Why? I feel like it doesn't need a minus 25 damage mod. It would be fine without it, but yeah, what can I do? I think this is just gonna be, you know, let's kill the Plague Doctor turn. Yeah, it's just Oppressive Vestal. Sadly, this isn't like the most exciting team. That was also a massive misplay by my opponent. They were at 1 HP and they could have just stayed there, forced me to hit into it, then they drop and then they regen. But now they just, you know, they're losing now. They're decisively losing here, because I will potentially get a death blow. Even if I don't get a death blow, it's still okay, because they try to go for my shield breaker, but, you know, I'm just gonna swing, I'm gonna go for the stuns, and I'm gonna enjoy myself, because even though they have extra stun resistance, I have 2 stun trinkets on my Vestal, so I get to just do this for free, get the perma stun, and all is well. So if you didn't notice in the previous video, I did mention the memberships, but I've added a new benefit to the memberships. You can now request to play like a best of 3 or a best of 5 with me. You could do that before already, but now if you do that, you know, we can actually have like a really proper best of 3, best of 5 instead of, you know, let's just play a few games, and I will comply. And on top of that, if you want to, you can just hit me up, we can go in a voice call, and I can like comment over your gameplay and just kind of give you some advice if you're still learning the Butcher's Circus and want your favorite shepherd doggy to be there for you, right, to support you a bit. So, you know, that is always a possibility if you're looking to subscribe. But, you know, of course, you just being here is already great, especially if you're already into 6 minutes into the video. Okay. So, my shield breaker, I really don't mind clicking her here, even though she's probably going to get hit and then she's not going to have the Aegis blocks. I'm just going to drop a heal and it's going to be okay. They're actually focusing my backline here. This is odd. I feel like my opponent has finally realized that going all in on this shield breaker really wasn't a move, so okay. Now it's going to be rough for them, even though I have an extra 12 and an extra 10 accuracy, and this is decent base accuracy. I still whiff the anti-current. This is actually horrible base accuracy. I thought it had 100. Wicked Slice is garbage. It's at 90. It's the same as Smite or something. And you might be wondering, Chef, why did you use your finishing character to go for that move? Well, unless I get a good Zealous hit on this anti-current, I'm never gonna do what I want here, so I needed to do that extra bit of damage and then potentially get another death blow with the stun. That's what I had to do, but unfortunately it's just gonna have to be this. I can still lose this match, let's keep this in mind. There's regen on the enemy side. I could just start failing stuns. Things can go really poorly for me here, but hopefully they don't. Thankfully my opponent can't actually use their healing here. They might have just realized that as they clicked, because the regen kind of has this counter synergy. Oh god, yeah, that's why you don't do that. That's why you don't Rain of Sorrows into Vendetta Higher Man. Even if you have, what do you call it? Even if I don't have the Eagle Eye, this is still gonna hurt. This is still gonna hurt like crazy. And I get to just go for the Wicked Slice here. Of course there's healing and all that, and now I don't have the regen anymore. But, you know, if you see a good kill shot on the flashlight, you go for it. Because, you know, that's the flashlight. No redeems, no exsanguinates, no nothing, and you're just having fun. And my opponent isn't. And that's what the oppressive Vestal does. You have fun and your opponent doesn't. Exactly as it should be. So I'm actually going to heal the Vestal here so she doesn't drop. Still have the Aegis blocks. I'm going to go for the Sun, the Antiquarian. Eventually this regen is going to run out because, you know, she's now in position 2. I might pull her to position 1. I don't know if I would pull her to position 1, but it is a possibility. I'm probably just... Oh, I failed the 90. How fortunate of me to fail the 90. That's horrible. That's slightly less horrible. Let's go for the slightly less horrible one. Yeah, I'll be honest, Pierce is kind of a joke move. But it's what you have to bring here, because you're playing a damage team shield breaker, so you kind of need this Pierce as like this tool to just do decent amounts of damage and get a character to the store. Not bringing it would be throwing, that's for sure. I'm gonna do this. This kind of gives my opponent an opportunity to go for the guard, but honestly they're still at only 42 dodge, so it just, even though they had a very decent dodge setup with the guard and all that, this is just not going to work, because I have 115 base accuracy on my Vestal. I actually have a lot of DOT on me here, so maybe it does work. There is actually a decent chance it works, because I'm probably gonna have to go for a heal. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go for a heal here. I'm gonna go for a heal and I'm gonna try to stun with the Crusader. I can't preemptive heal the Vestal. It was just way too much DOT, so I'm gonna try to go for a stun the Crusader. It's still 58 to hit, so I'm praying that it lands. And yes, it does land, because dodge is a joke. It is a complete joke. You're a buffoon if you play dodge teams. You're even a bigger buffoon if you play with our queen. She is sadly not really enjoying her time in the Butcher Circus. I could do another Plague Doctor video, but the queen for today's video is the Vestal, so let's just stick around with her. So Antiquarian finally down to 8 HP. She is gonna go aggressive. Yeah, that's another crit. They just Higher Man things. He gets so many crits, it's uncanny. You really shouldn't get this many crits. It's fine, because he's kind of a niche character, he's not too strong. So the crits he does get, like, kind of help him a bit, but it feels like he gets way more crits than he normally would. It feels like he gets way more crits than the Arbals, even though she has 44% crit chance. But anyway, let's go for match number 2. Alright, and here we go straight into a match number 2. This person has a very similar banner to mine, but they're actually playing... Wait a second, this is the Mike Field combo. I was actually thinking of playing this for my damage team Vestal instead of the oppressive Vestal, but this team is so defunct that I thought, you know what, that's probably not a good idea. The reason it's defunct is because this team sucks. Okay, it's Mike Field's team, let's be nice. Not everyone might remember Mike Field, but he was the guy back in the day. He was the shepherd doggy back in the day. I'm just a shadow of him. And he had this really fun team that he would bring. He would have 2 stuns with the Crusader and the Vestal, and he would just go ham. Grave Robber Lunge, Jester Dirk Stab, Crusader, just go full on pressure, kill a character, pretty much do what the Oppressive Vestal does already, except it does it worse, because these 2 characters are very, very squishy, and they don't have ways of dealing with Prot. They have Harvest, and they can have Panic Darts, those are possibilities, but against teams with high protection, this sucks. This is absolutely abysmal, and high protection was meta back in that time, so this team really did not see a lot of competitive play. I did try it in a tournament, and it went absolutely horrible. I went against the Crusader, Men-at-Arms, Abomination, and Doggy team. They just went Orc of Light and Bellows, and I could not do a thing. I literally could not do a thing. But yeah, they're gonna Holy Lance my Men-at-Arms, which is a very, very odd choice by my opponent, but you know, it is what they do. And yeah, this is basically Shep Stress number 8. I guess we're up to 8 now. I have the Vestal here, so I suppose it is the 8. They don't have a very good they actually don't have a very good, what do you call it, a very good stun chance with that Vestal, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually going to guard this Abomination, make sure that he doesn't get stunned, because this is decent stun resistance, this is very good stun resistance. They're gonna pick to the face, but honestly I don't care. I have Healing Trinket. This is not your usual Vestal. I mean, this is not your usual, what do you call it, your usual Shep Stress, where you have very limited, very conditioned healing. This is spam healing, and this team also sucks in terms of reach, which is something that the Halo comp had that this one definitely doesn't. The Halo comp has tons of reach because it has the Bounty Hunter to go for those pulls, it has the Arbals to shoot position 4, the Oppressive Vestal can pull position 4 with the Shield Breaker. This team can't do any of that. If there's a character in position 4 that you need to focus, you're screwed, because you can't focus them. The only way for you to do that is to Finale or maybe to Holy Lance. Those really are your only options. I guess my opponent has Thrown Dagger as well, but let's be honest, Thrown Dagger is a Garbo move, complete Garbo. So what would be better, this or the Shep Stress number 5 with the Arbalist? Honestly different, this is probably a bit worse, but in this situation it's actually way the hell better, because they're gonna stun me, but that's okay because my heals are way better, and I don't need the move resistance that the Arbalist does, because Arbalist spends a lot of her stats and a Trinket on just being very high move resistance. With this I actually have stun resistance, I have guarding trinket, so I'd be able to guard this Vestal, and I'd be able to just stay here safely and just enjoy myself. Now they're trying to focus my Flagellant down, which is, you know, the funny move. It could work. Do they have solo? No, they don't have solo, so if they go for a Harvest here, they are going to eat a bigger cost. It could work, because they're probably gonna all-in with the Pick to the Face here as well. Pick to the Face, Dirk Stab, but I'm just going to heal. I'm gonna drop the Bell. I probably should have dropped the Bellow before going for the Beast File, but it'll be fine, right? Its ability tickles, yeah, 10 damage, who cares? It's Garbo, that ability, it really is. I could command buff, but I honestly don't want to. I feel like I don't need it that much. Just spamming Bell is gonna be better here. Unfortunately, we don't get it because we have the funny setup, so we really don't have an EVI to just make my Bellows stick, which I absolutely love. This Vestal, even though you don't have a good stun chance, I think you should still go for it. Clearing like 24 stress. Actually, 24 stress is a lot. Yeah, clearing stress might not be the play here for my opponent, but it is what they're going for. I could also be going for stuns here with the Vestal. This is another reason why Stress Vestal is kind of icky, because you're usually playing against Arbalists, and if you stack Bellow debuffs with stuns, then they're just going to flare it all away. It's not going to happen this time around, thankfully, because my opponent once again is playing kind of a defunct team, but usually, you know, it won't go too well. But I feel like I've set up this team in a way that it would be able to handle most situations. I have a very aggressive Flagellum to make up for the lack of offense from the Vestal. I have a Man-at-Arms that really supports this Vestal, and in case they have a lot of DOT with like a Flagellum that is similar to mine, I do have to push Trinket on the Abomination, so I'd be able to kind of delay that for a bit. So I feel like we are doing this well. Sadly, Illumination only works from positions 1, 2, 3, so I can't actually Illumination that Grave Robber. Sucks to be me, I guess, but, you know, what can you do? I can Bellow and once again miss, but I'm getting more debuffs. They do have the Cloak and Dagger here, so my guard might not be the greatest thing in the world. I could have changed the guard already, could have changed the guard to the Flagellum, but I'm playing it a bit risky, because I know I have a Vestal, so I'm able to just heal again if the going gets rough. I also don't want to click immediately because I have stun resistance on my Flag, and also because you kinda don't want to pick the character that has those clutch heals too early, because then they bring it down to 0 and then you no longer have the clutch heals. They're flaring, or rather they're rallying to the flame the Bellow debuff, sorry. And I'm dropping preemptive heals. I don't care. I don't care. I'm full HP on my entire team. I am full HP. I'm going to heal myself up to only lacking 4 HP on my Man-at-Arms, and I'm going to enjoy it. They're gonna Dirk Stab, 8 damage, it's okay. Keep in mind they're stacking up those finale buffs, so they will most likely get a kill eventually, which is a bit preoccupying, but I will hopefully have done enough stress by then to be okay with it. But then again, if they get a kill and then all I have for stress is like Bellow, yeah, it's not gonna be too much fun, because the Vestal does stress, but she does 8. 8 is nothing. It is not there. It is non-existent, pretty much. But I'm going to transform here and actually push this Chester, because I don't want immediate launch into finale shenanigans. That would not be too much fun, so let's do this. Do some decent damage onto him as well, another wave of horror onto my opponent's side, and hopefully just be okay here. They have to pick to the face, they have a lot of damage on it, hell of a lot of damage on it actually, but you know, let's pray it doesn't do too much for them. I'll probably move back with the Abomination here as well, just move back twice, if I can afford it. Otherwise, I'll just go for Manacles on the Chester, because that would be kind of checkmate here. Putting him to 0 and stunning him would be good. They're gonna flare, stun me, so I can't do much, and oh, I could guard. I could guard. If I guard, they just go for the Abomination, but honestly, the Abomination has done pretty much he needs to already. If I do that, they stun my A-bomb, so it's also not too good, but I could just Bellow. I'm in doubt. When you're in doubt, you Bellow it out, right? Now I'm gonna go for the guard here. I really don't want to lose the Flagellant. Losing the Flagellant would be rough. I just realized she bypasses guard versus stealth. It doesn't have to be with launch. I mean, bypasses guard while... what do you call it? While stealth. Yeah, I almost completely forgot about it. It's still gonna be okay because they can't like finale for the kill or something. But yeah, I completely forgot that they'd be able to do that, because you only really think they're gonna do that with launch. You don't think pick to the face is gonna bypass a guard. At least I don't think that. But you know, I'm up to 15 HP again. Idol of Purity, very juicy heals. I think it goes from 15 to 19 on the heals. Also got that juicy crit heal there closer to the start, and even though they're doing damage to my Flagellant here, I have 40 procs, so the Dark Stab is gonna tickle. They can't really do too much about it. They can't stun my Man-at-Arms either, so to kill my my Flagellant here is really rough, so they're gonna have to go for the Abomination instead. They get a max roll with the 13. That's rough. That is quite rough. And I'm going to actually just keep my turn here in case they stun me. And if they don't, if they go for a heal or something, I might do something else. But I have to be a bit careful here, because if I detransform, I will get dazed, and I don't have a way of dealing with it. So it would be rough. If they do that, I'm okay. Because I just click immediately, and then I still have my turn, and now I have the stun resistance as well. They could have enough damage to Finale. Honestly, they probably have enough damage to Finale, but if they Finale here, that might be bad for them. Even if they get the kill on my Abomination, I've already used both transformations, then they'll have 3.5 characters against my 3. If I had a doggy, this would be over. You know, if I had a doggy, I'd be spamming Hanseri. It would be so much fun. Even though this is the perfect... Whoa, 42! Even though this is the perfect situation for the Vestal, if I had a doggy here, the game would have been over like 5 rounds ago, essentially. But this is the perfect situation for a Vestal. But Chef, you said you were going to showcase Stress Vestal and that it was going to be good. It's not good. It's not good. It's either this or not running with a Flagellant, and then you immediately lose against all Flagellant teams. So you need to run it with a Flagellant. But yeah, Stress Vestal is... Just bring the Arbalest. It is so much better. Just bring the Arbalest. Enjoy yourself that way. Counter the stuns. Have insane move resistance and still very, very good heals that also cure bleed. Don't do what I'm doing here. It is not the wisest thing I could have done. But now I have a lot of resistances here, which is nice. I have a lot of rot on this front line. They're quite chunky. They can't... they're probably going to launch me down to 0 here, but I'm hoping that I get rid of the Jester before that happens, because it is kind of the finisher character here. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one, because they still have a Crusader, and if he goes Courageous, it is actually over. If he goes Courageous, I will probably just surrender, but you know, we'll see. I think they're healing a bit too much here. I feel like once again they don't have the stuns, nor do they have Zealous, so they're really in a rough spot. But yeah, I think this is just gonna be another Bellow turn. That's gonna be one Affliction and another Bellow debuff on the Grave Rob, which is good. Even with the Bellow debuff, she's probably gonna one-shot my Vestal, but I'll just heal myself. Oh, I have Illumination! I can Illumination! I just realized. Let's do it. 75% chance to hit, by the way. 0 dodge now! That's right, because Illumination gives minus 30 dodge for 4 rounds. It's massive. It is massive, if it does land. Sadly, this ability only has 100 accuracy. It should have 110, in my opinion. It really could use a bit more accuracy, because it is an anti-dodge ability. And having an anti-dodge ability at the same accuracy as a Crusader's Stunning Blow, it's very odd for me. Annoyed. Okay, that's very good. That's 0 damage, stuns the other characters, moves back. Oh, that is wonderful, actually. Okay, it looks like the game is in the driver's seat for me here, because yeah, the last like couple of actions really went my way. Like, completely went my way. We're gonna drop another Bellow. Please, more Bellow debuffs. Oh god, it's GG. I'm sorry, my opponents, but now there's nothing they can do, I feel. They've completely lost all pressure. They don't have stuns with Crusader, they moved back, Vestal's in a bad spot, Jester's about to die, Grave Robber has 0 damage. She went Hopeless, which could have been worse, could have gone, like, you know, Fearful. Hopeless isn't minus damage unless you go first, but yeah, it's still not great for my opponent. I wonder if Fearful has a minus damage modifier if you go first. I don't think it does, I think it's just minus 25 and that's it. But it would be pretty cool if it had minus 25, minus 25 if you went first on top, like half damage, yeah. Pretty cool, let's nerf the already garbage Affliction, yeah, that's all we want to do. But anyway, my opponent is thinking, they are thinking really hard, but the Vestal's gonna think for them. I wonder if they get the 10. Yes, they do. That's so lovely, actually. Okay, good job, Vestal. She gets the 10. And now I might actually be really screwed here. If their lunge hits me for 15, I'm dead. There's a decent chance I'm dead if the lunge hits me for 15. I doubt it will. I doubt it will, but it can. It definitely can. They probably need a crit on it. They probably need a crit. It's the Hail Mary play, they should go for it. For sure. If you get lucky enough to get a 10% stun chance on there, and now you actually have a chance to kill my Flagellant, you take it. 100% take it. There's nothing else for you to do here. There's only one move. The Jester is alive. He's gonna take a lot of stress, but he's alive. He's able to do one more Dirk Stab. They go for the lunge, and it just comes up short. And yeah, unfortunate. It is unfortunate for my opponent. If the lunge did enough damage there, but yeah, the bow debuffs are just a bit too much. Also, I have that base prot, which is cool. I dropped to 0. I have decent stun res, but honestly, we... what's the hit chance? Yeah, I go for it. I kind of potentially int my Flagellant there, potentially just, you know, let my opponent get a kill. If they actually killed my Flagellant, if I actually whiffed that 90, I probably would have lost the match, because I still need to deal with this Crusader, and that's very difficult to do when you're getting perma-stun on the Vestal. But okay, now the Vestal goes for the pass. That's a hell of a lot better for me. I appreciate it. And I'm just going to stun this Crusader. I don't want to get stunned myself. I want to do some stress. He also does stress to the other characters, so now the Jester is a goner. She's taking a lot of horror, and yeah, this midline is not enjoying themselves. Also, Selfish Paranoid. These are really bad afflictions that my opponent got. So lucky for me. Crit for 9 from the garbage move. Why don't you bring Panic Darts and then just do 16 damage guaranteed minimum? I don't know. I don't understand. I could still guard here, or I could just Bell, but honestly at this point I think it's just Bell. Just completely neuter my opponent's offensive capabilities. I could guard, but then they still stun the other character that I'm not guarding. If I just spam Bellows with their afflictions, they can't do anything. This is minus 85% damage here. This is minus 30% damage. This is minus... minus 100% damage pretty much if they go first. Actually worse than that, it's minus 105% damage if they go first, dear god. Yeah, they're not even gonna get to act, I'm just gonna stun them. I'm just gonna stun them, and yeah, it is a bit of a slaughter. It was kind of close, honestly, surprisingly close. Really don't pick Stress Vestal if you can not pick it. But it is fun, it can be somewhat fun. Also infuriating for you when you need her to actually act, but yeah, you know, that crit Divine Grace for 30 at the start, kind of a game winner. Kind of a game winner for sure, on a character with 50 max HP as well. That was one juicy Divine Grace. Does my opponent still have a winning chance here? Honestly, I don't think so. If I had 2 characters left, maybe, but since I don't, you know, they're still trying, they're going for smites and all that, but I have like an infinite heal here. They don't have stress on me. There's nothing they can do. They're just gonna get chipped out eventually. Vestal's also gonna go to position 2, because this is when the Arbos would still do just as well as the Vestal here. Let's be honest, he would still be able to heal infinitely. But the Vestal does it even better because her heals are juicier. Her heals are, yeah, they're definitely juicier. 2 damage from the Judgment, giving me free healing. I appreciate it. I'm actually going to use my buffs from being at Death's Door to punish this Crusader, do a bit more damage, have a bit more crit chance. Did I do 12 stress? It's bugged again. God damn it, Crimson Hook. It's bugged again. It sucks how this trinket just bugs itself out of nowhere sometimes. You actually have to set up the abilities in a way. I think if you have Redeem in the ability 1, or if you don't have Crimson Hook in the second slot, if you go for the Reign of Sorrows and you don't have this setup that I have, even if you get the bleed immediately, you might do 12 stress instead of 15, if you don't have the correct setup on it. Or in other situations, you're going to do 15 stress instead of 12 by having the Crimson Hook. So it is really, really important that you bring the setup, because 3 stress just for no reason being, I mean, 3 stress times 2 is actually massive. That could turn the tide of a match, and it feels really, really sad to think that if I just had a bit of a wrong setup and then go into a match and then I see myself doing 12 stress when I could be doing 15, I'm just like, oh damn. What I'm talking about is now I'm doing 15 stress because the bleed is already there. But usually with the Crimson Hook, it depends on the spaghetti code, but usually with the Crimson Hook, you apply the bleed with your ability and immediately apply the stress because the bleed comes before the stress. But I guess if you have something set up wrong, or if the spaghetti code doesn't like you, the stress comes before the bleed, and so you don't actually get the extra stress versus characters that are bleeding. But anyway, let's go for match number 3. Alright, and here we go straight into a match number 3, this time against a bunch of numbers, and with my DOT Vestal. Now, Shep, before you do anything else, how the hell does this qualify as a DOT Vestal? This looks like a stun team. Stun? DOT, it's a DOT Vestal, yeah, just don't think too hard about it. It'll hurt your brain. But I'm gonna go for the stun on the Plague Doctor. So this team has one gigantic issue. Disruption. My opponent has... Oh, they don't have the Demon's Pull on the Occultist. They actually didn't bring it. They brought both hexes. Oh, I can't right-click the characters, so I can't look at the abilities, but they don't have the stealth, nor do they have the Demon's Pull. That's actually whack. If they had Demon's Pull here, I would have a horrible time, because my Vessel gets pulled, and then Flagellant's out of position. But since that's not a thing, then, you know, I am just chilling. I am just enjoying myself. Now, I'm gonna look really dumb if this whiffs, but thankfully it doesn't. Shep, why don't you just battle balance and then have confirmed hit chances? Because I want to get stun priority. I don't want my opponent to stun me, and then I'm the one taking damage for free here on my Crusader. I want to stun them and just start winning that way. So this team is kind of built in a way that has healing, you know, very good healing, very good healing, very good healing. So it has 3 very good healing characters, and then it has a Jester, which is here to give you the accuracy that you need, and is also here to drop the Harvest for some DOT, and then get a Finale to get a character advantage. And if you have a character advantage with 3 healers, one of them being Flagellant and the other 2 being AoE, yeah, it gets rough. It gets quite rough. But yeah, this is just going to be a battle ballad turn. I have Reclaim here on the Flagellant, so this is a very chunky team, very difficult to break through when you use the regen and all the healing and all that stuff. But yeah, it's probably gonna be a punish turn here. I could Reclaim, but I feel like just punishing this Grave Robber is more important. She has 65 bleed res because they have 2 Rancid Cure-All on the front line. My goodness, this is the worst time of the year to bring freaking Reclaim. Absolute worst time of the year, but yeah, it's gonna be a stun on the Grave Robber. Oh look, 30% of your HP is gone, and so is your action, because I have a Crusader. Oh, what a lovely character. If you were to use Pick to the Face on me, which is the ability that counters Prot, it would take you an average of, let's say, probably still 3 to 4 picks to the face, while I'm hitting you back. With a stunning blow, you're not hitting me back, because you know, I'm stunning you. Okay, do I want to go for the 80% chance to stun? Is the real question here. I kinda do, I kinda don't. Kinda do, kinda don't. I think I'm gonna choose the don't, because I might just want to keep this Grave Robber under my thumb as well. If she clicks here and unstuns herself, I can actually just drop Dazzling Light again and I have a 95% chance to stun her. So just butcher Circus fakes. Yeah, the double stuns are fun, right? Just add infinite stun resistance. If you get stunned, you get permanent stun res. I don't like that. I don't like that. The game is already so horrid to play with a stun team. If you don't get an immediate kill, if you don't get an immediate tempo, like, you know, you drop 2 stuns and you get a kill. If that doesn't happen, if you drop 2 stuns and you don't get a kill, and then you have to try and do it again already from behind, and now you have even worse stun chances against a team that has decent stun resistances, like with Man-at-Arms, it's GG, it's completely GG. So I honestly really don't like that idea of giving a permanent stun resistance. I really don't like that. One thing I do like is last character standing giving stun resistance. Make it have like 20 minimum. Make it have like a minimum of extra 20 stun resistance, and that would be cool. That would be quite cool. At least so you have a bit more of a chance if you're the last character standing. And so you don't run into all the, you know, manacles, permastun, Crusader permastun, just really having a fun time. So here, it looks like it's rough for me because I can't stun the Grave Robber because she's already stunned, but then I just stun the Plague Doctor, and next turn I stun the Grave Robber. So they get even less actions than they normally would. They could rally to the Flame, but honestly, if they rally to the Flame, I just Zealous. Actually, I don't have Zealous at the moment, but it's still a good move. So yeah, 95% chance to stun. I've never seen a Vestal 95% fail. I've seen a Manacle's 95% stun chance fail. No, not a Vestal one. Maybe she has Vestal RNG. That's actually possible that she has Vestal RNG. I'm not entirely sure. I say this sort of jokingly, but I also don't. I genuinely believe novices have better RNG than people who have been playing the Butcher Circus for too long. I genuinely believe that. I know there's no proof. There's completely zero proof. This is... my evidence is just, trust me bro, that is my evidence completely. I've absolutely zero proof. I have no way how to get proof for it, apart from doing extensive testing, which no one wants to do, because it would be kind of impossible. You'd have to play like 1,000 matches in the exact same situation with a novice and with someone that isn't a novice, to see who gets better RNG. But then, if the novice plays too many matches, they stop being a novice. They're just not a novice anymore. So how does that work then? It's odd. It really is odd. This little science. You know, it probably doesn't exist, but that's not gonna stop me from complaining about it. That's for sure. But anyway, I tried to hit the Grave Robber here. She survived the 55 and the 40, so a bit unfortunate for me. But I'm also doing this. Other things with this. Dropping the Harvest also makes it so the Plague Doctor goes down, and you know it's it's overall just nice. They decide to drop the heal there. Very interesting move, to say the very least. I'm actually gonna go for the Dirk Stab kill here. No, your Flash one's out of position. It's fine, he has Reclaim. The Flash one, if you have Reclaim on him, it's actually fine to put him in position too. I should have mentioned, but this team was actually created by Diogi. We haven't given it a name because it's kind of a weird one, but it was invented by Diogi, kind of as just a very specific team to deal with very specific teams as well. If you know what you're up against. And one thing that you can do with it is, since you have Reclaim, you can just put the Crusader in 1, where he's more likely to get all that stun priority that you know and love. And you can have the Flagellant in position too, so even if he goes to 3 or something, well, the Crusader would have the Holy Lance, which is still nice. Zealous and Stunning Blow with this setup is just a hell of a lot better, and the Flagellant is still able to just Reclaim, Redeem, and have a fun time until the finale comes, or until he just has to move forward, which is also okay. So there's going to be weird construction there, 14, that's okay, because we know what happens here. I drop to this door, heal the Vestal, and then I could Divine Comfort here on top. That would be the cherry on top, but honestly, I don't want to do that. Yeah, that would be kind of whack, because I could Divine Comfort, then click myself again with a Flagellant, drop to 0, heal myself, heal the entire team again next round, and then I would drop the Redeem, but I honestly don't need to do that. I can just go for a stun here, a bit of damage, guaranteed finale, and then it's a 4v2 with Flagellant, Crusader, Vestal, so you know. Really impossible to win against, which is exactly what I want. It's exactly what I was going for. Even with this Brought, I still think I have enough damage. This is 16 to 29. There are maybe I do 13, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Shit. Even if I don't get the finale here, I'm probably still winning. This is just can be a solid team. Sometimes it's not going to be solid, but it can be a solid team. Don't pass. No, I'll have to pass as well. No. Oh, I'll pass with the Vestal. Okay. Oh, maybe. Oh, what if she goes Afflicted and passes? Is that okay then? Can I just not pass on myself? She moves forward. Oh no, she marks herself. Okay. Well, we pass. It's fine. It's fine. I don't know this bunch of numbers, but they're playing a Plague Doctor occultist team. There's no world where I'm gonna be mean to them. Well, meaner than, you know, having a meta team. Yeah. Meaner than that, I will not do. It's... oh, please don't get this done. Oh, no. Now this is just gonna take longer. Oh, why do you do this to me? The game is over. I know you don't understand it, because you're kind of just testing around new things. Like, I was thinking of skipping this match, but you know, I saw Volatile Concoction. I saw decent setup with the trinkets on the Occultist, decent setup on this front line. I mean, well, interesting setup. J-Man played with this setup, so you know, it is based to say the very least. J-Man did bring kind of a rancid cure-all. I don't think it was Nepenthe, but it was for sure rancid cure-all Grave Robber in the tournament, and he got to like position 3 in the entire last tournament. Speaking of, the next tournament should be coming up very soon. I'll probably make an announcement on it in the next video, so definitely stay tuned for that. I'll also put a link in the description for the Discord server, for you know, the official Discord server for the tournaments, if you do potentially want to join the Butcher Circus tournament just to have fun, you know, enjoy yourselves competitively, and also win a prize at the end, a monetary prize. But now it is a 4v2, and it's just gonna be good old, right? Yeah, just good old stuns into banishes, into all that, so let's skip along to the end. Okay, I'm actually stopping this real quick because I just noticed something. So my Jester hit this Crusader, you know, now he's killing the enemy Crusader, but he hit my Crusader with the abusive Act Out, and he took 17 stress. Now, the Act Out usually causes 15 stress. I don't have a stress trinket on my Jester, he doesn't have plus stress received, I don't have plus stress dealt anywhere, so how did Crusader take 17 stress instead of 15? I think it's because of the rate of execution. He has plus stress dealt here. So what actually happens when you hit another character with your Jester is that the character stresses themselves out, not the Jester that causes the stress. It's the hit coming from the Jester that makes the character stress themselves out, so you take more stress if you have plus stress dealt. I actually hadn't fully tested that, I didn't really know, and that's actually quite cool. Now, in terms of what I'm gonna do here, I'm actually gonna just punish the corpse. I don't mind if my opponent gets a kill here or two, just to get some prestige for them, you know, just to kind of progress, because they did play this relatively well. They did their best, so if they get a kill or two, it's going to give them a bit more prestige, and I already have a guaranteed win chance if I just go for the stunning blows with my Crusader, so I don't mind giving my opponent a teeny tiny bit of hope here to get a bit more going through. Please don't make an incurse my Crusader. That would be the silliest thing you could do. Yeah, go for the flattery boy. That's gonna do 0 damage. Okay, no, it didn't. It can do 0 damage. It has a minus 90 damage mod on that ability, but thankfully it didn't. I can't act. Just gonna have to be zealous, and yeah, let's skip along to the end. Wow, my opponents actually decided to heal themselves here because they think they actually still have a winning chance, even though I've been giving them the win for free for the past 5 rounds. It's fine. It's fine. That's why you don't. That's why you don't act nice. That's why you just finish the match. Yeah, I suppose you shouldn't really reward people for stalling when the game's already over. Hey, what can you do? What can you do, right? What can you do? You can finish it off righteously. That is something I mentioned a couple of videos ago and I completely misexplained, but finish him righteously is, with the Crusader, he would have to unscrew the pommel with his own hand, so you'd have to spend a bit of time just unscrewing that, like, round and round and round and round and round, then throws it at the Occultist's head, and then he can kill the Occultist. That's what he'd have to do. That is to finish him righteously. That is what the Crusader would do here. It feels like he does that, because he usually pommels the enemy into submission at the very end of the match. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed today's video. The shorts should be coming, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll drop a short, but I'm not entirely sure yet. But anyway, be on the lookout for it, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers!